Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our English learning podcast. Today, we are going to answer a question that many English learners ask. How do Native American English speakers speak? When learners first start studying English, they often imagine that all Americans speak exactly the same way. However, this is not true. The United States is a large country with millions of people from different cultures, backgrounds, and regions. Because of this, English sounds a little different depending on where you are. But one thing is true almost everywhere. Native American English speakers usually speak naturally, confidently, and smoothly. Let's discover what makes their English sound so natural. The first characteristic is connected speech. Native speakers usually do not pronounce every word separately. Instead, they connect words together. For example, instead of saying, "What are you doing?" very slowly they often say, "What are you doing?" Or instead of saying, "Did you eat?" they may naturally say, "Didja eat?" This connected speech makes conversations faster and smoother. At first, this can sound difficult for English learners. However, after listening to enough English, your ears begin to recognize these natural patterns. The second characteristic is the use of common, everyday expressions. Native speakers rarely use difficult vocabulary in daily conversations. Instead, they use simple words and useful phrases. For example, they often say, "Sounds good," "No problem," "I'll be right back," "Take care," "That makes sense," "I'm not sure." These expressions appear in everyday conversations again and again. Learning these common phrases helps learners sound much more natural. Another important feature is contractions. Native speakers almost always use contractions in casual conversations. Instead of saying, "I am happy," they usually say, "I'm happy." Instead of, "I will call you," they say, "I'll call you." Instead of, "They are coming," they say, "They're coming." Contractions make English sound more relaxed and conversational. Another characteristic is natural pronunciation. Native speakers do not try to pronounce every letter perfectly. Some sounds become softer, some words become shorter, some sounds disappear completely during fast speech. This is perfectly normal. It helps conversations flow smoothly. This is one reason why movies and real conversations sometimes sound much faster than classroom English. Another habit of native speakers is using intonation. Intonation means changing the rise and fall of the voice. English is not spoken like a robot. Native speakers change their tone to express emotions, ask questions, show surprise, or emphasize important information. Good intonation makes speech sound lively and interesting. Listening carefully to podcasts and conversations helps learners develop this natural rhythm. Another thing native speakers do is speak in chunks instead of individual words. For example, instead of thinking about one word at a time, they naturally use groups of words like, "at the end of the day," "as far as I know," "to be honest," "I have no idea," "by the way." Learning these chunks makes speaking faster and more fluent. Native speakers also repeat words naturally during conversations. For example, yeah, well, you know, I mean, so. These small expressions give speakers time to think and make conversations sound more natural. Another important point is that native speakers do not always use perfect grammar in casual conversations. Sometimes they use short answers. Sometimes they leave out words because the meaning is already clear. For example, instead of saying, "Are you ready?" someone may simply ask, "Ready?" Instead of saying, "Do you want to come with us?" they may ask, "Wanna come?" This informal style is common among friends and family. However, in professional situations such as business meetings or job interviews, native speakers usually speak more carefully and formally. One question many learners ask is, "Do I need to sound exactly like a native speaker?" The answer is no. Your goal should not be to copy every accent perfectly. Your goal should be clear communication. A clear accent, good pronunciation, and confidence are much more important than sounding exactly like someone from New York, Texas, or California. Remember that millions of people around the world speak excellent English with different accents. What matters most is being understood. So, how can you speak more naturally? First, listen to English every day. Listen to podcasts, watch interviews, watch YouTube videos, listen to conversations between native speakers. Second, repeat what you hear. Try to copy the speaker's pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation. This technique is called shadowing, and it is one of the best ways to improve speaking. Third, learn phrases instead of single words. Native speakers think in expressions, not isolated vocabulary. Fourth, speak every day. Even if you practice alone, use English. Describe your day, talk about your plans, share your opinions. The more you speak, the more natural your English becomes. Finally, be patient. Native speakers have spent their entire lives using English. It is completely normal that learning takes time. Every podcast you listen to improves your listening. Every conversation increases your confidence. Every new phrase makes your English more natural. As we finish today's episode, remember this important message. Native American English speakers are not fluent because they know more grammar rules. They are fluent because they use English every day. They listen, they speak, they read, they communicate. And that is exactly what you should do too. Do not worry about having a perfect accent. Focus on speaking clearly, confidently, and naturally. With daily practice, your English will become smoother, more fluent, and easier to understand. Thank you very much for listening to today's podcast. Keep listening. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember, every day you use English, you become a better English speaker. See you in the next episode, and have a wonderful day.